justice is not equal. Justice is about chance. Justice is luck. All it is the flip of a coin. And that's how we're going to decide how you end, live, die. And he's like, it's your choice.
What is this?
Judgment Day. And now, my friends, we must get to the rest of the stream. And in case you didn't know, tonight I am doing a scene by scene breakdown chat to Batman and the Long Halloween Part 2, the last chapter in this animated duology, if you will, chat, an adaptation of Batman the Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, a beloved Batman story, one that I too own and actually really enjoy. I might say some controversial things during this review. I might say that I think this is probably a superior. I think this is even better. I think this is a superior work than the original graphic novel. Not that the original graphic novel was bad or worse or anything like that. I just think that it does a few things better and it fixes some issues with the plot. And it always bothered me from the original Long Halloween. And we'll get into those in just a bit. Luke the Boss, good to see you. Hope you're doing very well. But chat, before we get into the nitty-gritty details of Batman the Long Halloween Part 2, I have a very important question to ask you. That question being, how many of you have seen Batman and the Long Halloween Part 2? Recently just came out the last couple of years. And, it's one of the adaptations that DC Animation has been proud to present to people, a long requested one as well. Person man's I make something curse. Cool. I'm sorry. I didn't stay long. Good night. No, it's fine, Tajima. No, get your rest. No problem. No apologies necessary. Hamburger says, I have not. Expinal. I have not. Lisa, nope. Darkness, never saw the film. Love the comics. Somebody says, yes, I have. I like that we have a nice variety of people. Those that haven't seen it, those who have not seen it yet. Some people have read the comics. Some people have read and watched both. Some people only read the comic but haven't seen the movie. I like this. This is good. Crisano's hype. Just pure hype. Greasy Lynn says, I have. Been a while, though. Same. It's actually been a while since I read the Batman Long Halloween comic, but I've read it definitely several times over the years. Haven't read it in a good long while. Always really liked it. Had a few issues with it. The artwork, the thing that holds up best about that comic is just the artwork. Tim Sale is a fantastic artist, and his collaborations with Jeff Loeb have always been great, whether it's been Dark Victory or even Superman for All Seasons. They definitely, I feel like they bring out the best of each other. Certainly, in regards to Tim Sale. Chart, I haven't read or seen either. Only read the comics Dark Slayer, December Bay. Just saying, yes, of course. No, say goodnight to Shishiba, everybody. She needs to get her rest. But, chat, yes, I have read the comic. I have seen part 1 and part 2 recently, or at least rewatched part 1 recently. I had actually not seen part 2, just got too busy. And, I watched it, and I have to say I was very impressed with it, just in terms of the structure and the animation and the voice acting, too. Really like how they do certain characters and the animators that they do. They don't really copy Tim Sale's style. They copy a little bit of his style, but they do change certain things for some of the other characters I like. I really love the design for Catwoman in this anime adaptation. I think she looks fantastic. She's a fighter, but she has that sex appeal too. Bruce Timm would be proud. He loves those curves. I just really like the design for Catwoman in this. Batman as well, and Two-Face I think looks really cool. Just a lot of great animation. I really, really dig it. And I just, big shout out, of course, chat to Josh Duhamel, who does the voice of Harvey Dent in Two-Face. He's great. And also, again, I did this last stream, but Tanaya Rivera, who voices Selena Kyle Catwoman. This was actually her last role that she did, chat. I think she passed away before the movie had come out, or at least she passed away before part 2 came out, where I think she drowned. I think it was like an accidental drowning, so it was quite sad to hear that. But hey, she delivers a fantastic voice for Selena Kyle Catwoman. Chat. I think overall, this is a really nice follow-up to part 1. I guess it's a bit of a controversial adaptation because it does make changes in the original graphic novel, but sometimes that's for the best. Sometimes maybe even, other people can recognize some of the flaws that other people aren't willing to bring up, and they can correct them and course correct. And I like what this movie does, and we'll talk about in a bit. Now, and I'll tell you like what. And they do exclude certain characters from this as well. I was like, wait a minute, certain people are gone now, but it doesn't matter. They didn't feel like they were of great importance anyway. They were just kind of there as window dressing. And we'll get into more details as we go along, chat. But overall, I do think part 2 and part 1 are superior to the original graphic novel. And I'll explain why in a bit. But before we do that, chat, Bruce Wayne is having a wet dream. When I was watching this, chat, it's crazy because it opens up and it's Wayne Manor in the middle of this fucking huge wheat field, surrounded by crops and surrounded by fresh fruit trees and figs and apples and all oranges and plums and peaches. And Bruce is in this all white garb and he's looking out across all these fields, this harvest chat, and he's just happy. It's like, I've never seen Bruce Wayne smile this much. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you, Bruce? Why are you so goddamn happy? And then, chat, you understand why. Because Roxanne, I mean, literally, it looks like the scene from a Goofy movie, how that movie opens up and Max Goof is going through this fucking wheat field and he sees curvy-esque Roxanne. God, these animators are so goddamn horny. And she's just sitting on that Roman pillar chair and she just floats down. They're all wrestling and in the wheat. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Did someone watched a Goofy movie? That's all I know. And we see Bruce Wayne in the same exact fucking clothing as Max Goof. And who walks up to him, Chad? This mysterious red-haired woman. And she takes Bruce's hand. He looks at her, and he's just like, I've never been this happy before. Can this go on forever? And she says, of course it can, Bruce. Of course it can. But you still need to do a few more things. And she produces a pen, a fountain pen, Chad. Fancy. And he's like, really, right now? She goes, yes, right now. He's like, well, anything for you, Pamela. Oh, no! And then we transition, Chad. It's all an illusion because he is the thrall. He has become the man thing of Pamela Isley, also known as Poison Ivy, chat. And we've seen that Wayne Manor, very creepy. The entirety of Wayne Manor is wrapped in vines, chat, with all sorts of poisons, plants and plant monsters everywhere. Alfred's there, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. He is too is a thrall of Poison Ivy, chat. And she's just like, please sign the dotted line, Bruce. And he goes down. Apparently, chat, he's signing over all of his assets to one Carmine Falcone, chat, the godfather, the Roman of Gotham City. The city's most infamous crime lord, chat. And it's like, oh my God, is Pamela Isley working for Carmine Falcone? Did he hire her? It's like, what the hell's going on? It's crazy. Also, chat, we get a montage of various holidays, Valentine's Day, and a number of Sal Maroni's thugs and fellow crime family members have been murdered. We cut to St. Patrick's Day, and Carmine Falcone's own people are being shot right outside of his building, chat. We cut to April Fool's Day, and there's been another murder. We have Jim Gordon, we have Harvey Dent on top of the GCP building every day, trying to get the Batman, but it's been months. No one has seen Batman for months, and they don't know why. It's absolutely crazy. And then on April Fool's Day, there's been another murder, chat, and fucking Harvey Dent, he's got to go. He's picking up, Gilda from The Office, and he's heading over there in just a bit. But, chat, things are askew. They're askew at Wayne Manor, and we cut to Pamela Isley, and she's trying to convince Bruce Wayne to sign over apparently all of his fucking stocks to one Carmine Falcone, chat. And right before he's about to sign the dotted line and Poison Ivy's going to take that piece of paper and mail it to good old Carmine Falcone, boom, Catwoman yeets herself through the window. And we're going to get some girl-on-girl action, but not in a sexual way, chat. It's not sexual at all. But Catwoman's throwing down Poison Ivy, and she slaps the shit out of her, and she goes to Bruce, and she's like, Bruce, honey, you gotta wake up. You're not in your right mind. He's like, I fucking love her, Catwoman. She's so pretty. And she's like, God damn it. And he starts choking the shit out of her, but then she has to slash his chest And it reveals this plant fucking monster on him, Chad. She's like, oh, that's gross as hell. But then Pamela's like, don't touch that. And she goes and attacks Catwoman, Chad. But Catwoman knows, is like, all right, you know, I can handle Poison Ivy. I can take this girl out, but I can't fight Batman and Poison Ivy at the same time. It's too much. It's way too much. And so what she eventually does is she claws at Bruce's arm, which causes him to go, presents his chest, and she rips off the weird plant monstrosity that's on him and rips out the vines on his neck. And Pamela Isley's like, no, my baby. And then fucking Catwoman's just Catwoman cat punch right into her face. Poison Ivy's knocked the fuck out. And all the plants die around her, Chad. They all, like, she made a plant couch. She made a couch out of vines. That thing dies, Chad. The vines around Alfred's neck, they die and things. And, you know, Catwoman goes over to Bruce. She's like, are you okay? And, of course, Bruce is not, his first words are not like, oh, thank you. It's like, I told you I don't need a partner. And she's like, really, dude? You've been gone for 3 months. And he's like, what? Wait, what? Yeah, you've been gone for 3 months. And it's been making the news. You're signing over all your assets to Carmine Falcone. And Alfred's like, I'll call the lawyers. And he's like, well, what about a holiday? Are the holiday killings still happening? She goes, yeah, the holiday killings are still happening. And he's like, all right, well, thank you for letting me know, Selena. But I can't have you as my partner, neither as in crime fighting or sexual activity. And she's like, whatever, dude, whatever. We then cut, chat. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day now, and there's been another killing. And Harvey Dent is picking up Gilda, and they're about to go to the movies, but Gilda's all sad because Harvey's got to go to work. It's like, oh, Harvey, you know, why you got to be so busy as the DA? And he's like, God damn it, Gilda, you know, I'm just trying to stop crime in the city. I'm just trying to stop crime in the city and put away Carmine Falcone and deal with all these fucking supervillains. And then for a moment, just a single moment, chat, you hear this whisper. We just hear this whisper. And even Harvey's like, where did that come from? He goes, fucking bitch. And he's like, huh? Did you hear that? And Gilda's like, well, hear what? He goes, no, nothing. Never mind. Listen, we'll go to the movie in a bit. We'll get the next tickets for the next screening. I just got to go in. I got to talk to Jim. He goes into this gun shop. And they go in the back, and we see Jim Gordon there. It's a crime scene. The owner of the store has been fucking murdered. Chad got his head blown off, and there is one of the holiday guns, the revolver with the binky top is on there. And they learned that this particular owner of this gun shop is the one that's been supplying the holiday killer with all of his weapons. You even see some of his tools. You see how he's filing off the serial numbers off of all the guns. And, apparently they knew about this guy, but they didn't want to make an arrest until they finally had them both together, both this gun owner, this gun maker, and the holiday killer. But it was too fucking late. It was too goddamn late, and they forgot about Mother's Day, as we all do. Mother's Day creeps up on us every year, Chad, unless I'm just a really bad son. Probably that, too. They're like, yeah, I love that they literally, oh, fuck, forgot about Mother's Day. And so, yeah, imagine Father's Day, you're going to start killing as well. Meanwhile, chat, we then cut to Arkham Asylum, where someone else is fucking broken out, of course. And who's broken out this time, chat? Dr. Jonathan Crane, mostly known to the citizens of Gotham City as the Scarecrow. And he's riding on a fucking horse. He murdered one of the guards. So fucking using horses at Arkham. Why? But he's on top of this horse shit. He's going through this fucking forest. But then Batman's in the trees. He's like, Batman. And he fucking jumps at Jonathan Crane. He's like, who released you? Who's the one that did this? How did you escape? And like Scarecrow just like he has the he's like Spider-Man, where he shoots his fear toxin of his wrists like that. But Batman has like a breathalyzer like this. And so I was like, yeah, it's not going to work at me, Scarecrow. But it was all a ruse. Scarecrow, he's a sneaky son of a bitch, because he has a fucking needle, chat, and he sticks it in Batman's tummy. And Batman's like, oh, shit. And he injects him, chat. He injects him with some fear toxin tummy juice. And it's like, that's not good. And in the animation here is actually pretty cool, where it all becomes like very orangey and brown and red, and Batman becomes like a little Scarecrow-esque, and Scarecrow's really terrifying. And Scarecrow just starts fucking with Batman. He's like, Even though I strangled my mother years ago, she's the one that helped me, Batman. She always used to say, I'll always watch over you, my handsome little Jonathan. It's like, whoa. And then we see Scarecrow's dead mom, and he rips his fucking dead mom's head off and throws it at Batman. And Batman's like, Mama! And he fucking flips, and fucking Batman just runs into the woods where Scarecrow's going like, whoa, that guy's got issues. And Scarecrow just rides off into the city. Eventually, we cut to this couple chat walking out of the Monarch Theater, and they're like, why do we come to this theater? It's like in a really bad part of the city. It's a wife and a husband, and they got a little baby boy. And they're like, don't worry, let's cut through fucking Crime Alley. Why we cutting through? Okay, we cut through Crime Alley. They're going down the street. And you're like, oh, it's when they're going to be accosted by a would-be robber, Chad. Oh, it's happening again. It's happening again. It's like, no. What they see coming over here is, ah! They just hear someone screaming and someone running down the goddamn alleyway, and they stumble, and it's like this person presents themselves, and it's like, help me, Mama. And it's fucking Batman. And he's lost his mind. He's so insane. They're like, oh, gee. They're so scared of him. They're like, oh my God. And the wife's like, it's Batman. He needs her help. And the husband's like, fuck him. I don't care. And they just run away. And then he's just falls into this puddle. It's raining. Falls in this puddle, and he's just shaking and shit. And Catwoman's like been watching him, Chad, because, she's horny, as we all know. And Batman's horny too. They both want each other. They're perfect for each other, Chad. They're just two sides of the same coin. And she comes over, she's like, oh, Jesus Christ, Bruce, you pissed yourself, mother. And he's like holding her like, Mom. It's like, wow. And she's like, okay, you got real fucking issues, dude. And she eventually takes him back. She takes him back to Wayne Manor, puts him on the front porch. She rings the doorbell, sneaks away. Alfred opens it, and he has Bruce. He just has Bruce going, Mom, is Mom home? And Alfred's like, what are you talking about? Let me get you inside. And he looks out because he's like, Catwoman brought you a problem. They go inside, Chad. They go inside. But just lost his fucking mind. Meanwhile, we cut to the loveless marriage of Harvey Dent and Gilda Dent. Gilda's watching the TV. Scarecrow is still at large, committing all sorts of crimes and robberies and turning people into just, maniacs with his fear toxin. Apparently, someone else also broke out of Gotham, Chat, and he's in league with Scarecrow, but we don't know who yet. We haven't been told, but it cuts off because Harvey, he's leaving for the day. And he's just about to go. He gets his whatever, he had his gun, that Jim gave him, and a couple other things. And then Gilda's like, oh, Harvey, you forgot the lunch. I made you your lunch. And he just looks at her with such fucking resentment. He just stares at her. And he's like, thanks. Oh, you left the basement door open again. And she's like, I didn't do that. And you notice the basement door open and the lights on. And it's like, well, what's that about? Oh, we'll find out. And he just leaves. After that, we cut to this woman who is very large. She gets out of this car, Chad, presents herself to these Gotham City police officers who are guarding the residence of one Carmine Falcone, since he seemingly is being hunted by the Holiday Killer. And she's like 6'5". I mean, broad as hell, thick as hell, Chad. And this is the daughter of Don Carmine Falcone, Chad, Sophia Falcone, who's currently on parole. And she gets out of the car. She's like, I'm here to see my dad. And they're like, he's not taking any visitors right now. He's my father, all right? I'm going to go up there. I'm going to talk to him right now. And they're like, all right. But they know she has like a box. And he's like, what is that? You're not allowed to bring anything into the building. She goes, it's a fucking tie. Now move aside, boys. And so they move aside. Ace Rock, Buddy Rock, don't stop. I was not getting juicy without you, sir. I didn't produce much juice yet. So just a little bit of juice is produced. But now that you're here, we can produce the juice. Good to have you here, my friend. But she goes inside, and I have to admit, chat, Sophia Falcone, hot. I don't care. She looks great in this. In the comics, she's just kind of like this golem, if you will. But here, they're like, hell yeah. And they got her in like some dresses and outfits. I'm like, hell yeah, girl, strut your stuff. Show the boys and the girls what your mama gave you. And she looks great. She goes up there. And, Carmine loves his daughter. There's no doubt about that. That's his favorite. That's his favorite child. And she goes up there and she's like, Papa. And he's like, oh. And she's like taller than him and she's like hugging him and everything. And she's like, listen, I heard about what happened to Alberto, and I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm here for you right now, okay? I mean, things are dangerous now than ever. I mean, with all these criminals and things, and, you know, I just, listen, I mean, I did what you asked. I broke Scarecrow out of Arkham, and he's like, don't speak like that. We can't let anyone know that we're doing it. He's like, I understand that, Dad, but I don't know if this is the right way to do this, okay? I mean, I want to be there for you. He's like, listen, if I have you in all my meetings right now, if I just present you suddenly, everyone's going to think I'm going to announce a successor in this time of great, you know, tumultuous period. And I'll look weak. I'll look old. And she's like, you're not. And he goes, I know that, but they will think that, okay? So I appreciate you, but end the discussion. And he gives her some money. He goes, listen, go out there, go find yourself a nice man to take care of you. Go buy yourself a nice dress. Go buy a car, whatever. Just be sure to show it off, okay? Be sure to show it because it's all about the appearance, chat. It's all about the appearances. I'm sorry. I was just saying hello to Ace Rock. Gotcha. But no, Ace Rock, again, pleasure to have you here. So, and then you know, Carmine, he goes back inside his office, and right before he shuts the door, fucking Scarecrow's just going, he's inside. She's like, Jesus. Scarecrow looks really creepy in this, and they shut the door. That's probably not good. That's probably not good, chat. After that, chat, we then cut to Scarecrow. He's committing more crimes. He's doing more Scarecrow shit, being an asshole. And then we go to Harvey Dent and Jim Gordon because after the death of Albert Falcone, they took all these statements from people that were on the boat. However, the one person who was on the boat they did not get a statement from was Bruce Wayne. So they got to go there right now. It's been months later. They've been able to contact him. So they go to his residence. And we're like, you know, Mr. Wayne, thank you for seeing us today. We wanted to ask you a couple of questions. He's like, oh, sure, guys. Yeah, please. Hey, listen, do you need a drink? You want a drink? Alfred makes an excellent Mai Tai. And Jim Gordon's like, Mr. Wayne, it's 8:30 in the morning. It's like, hey, it's fucking, 5 p.m. somewhere. Am I right? And he's like, that's a good one, sir. Yes, we would like to know where you were the night of Albert Falcone's murder. He's like, oh, yeah, let me tell you something about that. Listen, I got really fucked up. And I was just seeing this girl. I was seeing this beautiful girl. You know, her husband, funny enough, was also there. And we've been seeing each other for quite a while. And I had to sneak away because I didn't want to, get in a little trouble. So I actually used one of the dinghies, and I went to shore long before the untimely death of Albert Falcone. It was so sad. And they're going, yes, sir, yes. Do you have any witnesses that can, stand by your alibi? He says, yes, I have several people. Here you go. He produces the thing. And it's like, all right. We'll be calling these people. And he's like, please, I am a big supporter of the GCPD. The Wayne Foundation has made major charitable donations, and you've done a great job, Jim Gordon. And as you, Harvey Dent, our new district attorney, you're killing it. And Harvey's not right. There's something wrong with him now because he's constantly fiddling with the coin that Batman gave him. He's constantly fiddling with it. He's constantly flipping it now. And he seems to be like looking around the room as if something else is there, but he's not letting anyone know. But even Jim notices this, and he says, "Oh, it's like, oh yeah, your many charitable foundations, like all the charitable donations you made to the Carmine Falcone and his father for all those so-called hospitals." And this is the first time that Bruce is like, he bristles, and a little of the Batman comes out, and he's like, "Listen, my father, yes, did work with Carmine Falcone to build multiple public works projects in Gotham City, all right, but he was in no way involved in organized crime." And Harvey Dent throws this back at him. He's like, well, don't you feel like your father was abetting those same criminals by being in league with them, giving them cover through these charitable foundations, able to launder money, And it's like, don't you think that, the people of Gotham have paid for that? And Bruce throws this at Harvey. He says, and Bruce walks over and he goes, looks at the portrait, and he goes, I know only two people in Gotham who paid for the sins of crime. And he's like, his parents, which were murdered by a criminal. And Harvey's like, God damn it, Bruce. And now flashback time. We get a flashback, chat, to a very young Bruce Wayne, okay? And he's a little boy. He loves books. He loves reading, chat. Very good. He loves reading. And, he's reading some books and stuff. And then, boom, the fucking doors of the library open up. And they're dragging in a very young Carmine Falcone who has just been shot, Chad. His dad is there. Boppity Boopy Falcone, I think that's his name. Thomas Wayne is there. And Boppity Boopy is like, I can't take my son. He literally has a super stereotypical thick Italian accent. I can't take my son to the hospital. You need to help him. He's like, he's been shot 5 times. I don't have the tools to perform surgery. He's like, please help my son. Boppity Boop. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. And he performs the operation, removes the bullets and things. And Boppity Boopy Falcone's like, thank you. I owe you my life. We owe you a great debt. And he's like, that's fine. Let's let your son rest, and we'll go. We'll just let him rest right here. And he's like, okay, cool. And so they leave. They leave. And Bruce he watched the entire operation as they opened up, Carmine Falcone, and Bruce sneaks down. He also notices that something dropped out of Carmine Falcone's hand, which is a coin, which is the same coin that Batman gave to Bruce Wayne. It was Carmine Falcone's coin all those years ago, Chad. Whoa! That's fucking cool. Or what Batman gave to, not Bruce Wayne, but Batman gave to Harvey Dent. And it's the coin that was owned by Carmine Falcone. And Carmine walks up and he's like, hey, kid, listen, don't be scared of nothing. It's fine. It's just, bad things, happen to good people. He's like, you're not a good person. He goes, yeah, it's true. That's true. You're right. But listen, when we're in this world, what we get is what we take. That's how it works, okay? It's what your family has done. It's what my family's doing too. What we want is what we take. And he's like, all right. What we get is what we take. That's what it has to be. That's the cycle, okay? And then we snap back, and, everyone's like, Bruce, you've been, standing there for, 10 minutes. He's like, sorry, I was having a traumatic childhood flashback. You can leave now. And they're about to leave, and Alfred also gives them some additional information in regards to Bruce's whereabouts, over the last several months, just people they paid off to lie, basically. And Alfred's like, listen, I know that I've overheard Mr. Dent and your accusations toward Bruce. He's like a son to me. And I believe that, the son should not always pay for the sins of the father. So even though Thomas Wayne had aligned himself with Carmine Falcone, and even though they were doing so for charitable organizations, lay off of him. He's fucking crazy as is. Slam the door. And they slam the door, Chad. Like, that's good. That's good. Eventually, we then cut from that, but the thing is, they're watching Bruce at this point. Alfred goes in, and Bruce is like, they're going to be watching me now more than ever. And so Alfred's like, are you going to be staying in? He's like, fuck no. I'm going to leave. I'm just going to use the back entrance of the back cave. So he's like, all right, fine. But then, Chad, we cut. And we're in this, I guess we're outside of Gotham City, and we're in this small house in this small little vineyard. It's not really small. It's like a compound, but it's it's like a vineyard and stuff, grapes and shit. And we see 2 people in this car, Chat. We see Sal Maroni and Sophia Falcone, Chat, and they're smooching, and they're humping each other. And they're like, what the hell is this all about? And apparently, Chad, these 2 have been in love for quite some time. It's like a Romeo and Juliet situation, Chad, except it's in the mob. And she's like, listen, are you going to go talk to your dad about ending this war? He's like, I'm going to go talk to my dad, see what we can fucking do. I'm going to come back. You still stay here, keep looking pretty. No problem. And so he leaves, and he goes and talks to his dad. It's Father's Day, by the way. He goes and talks to his father, brought him some cannolis, and his dad, very boppity-boopy Italian chef, very thick accent and everything. And Sal's like, listen, Dad, this holiday killing, it's hurting us at this point. I hate to do it, but we got to have some type of impasse with Falcone. And, Papa Maroni's like, well, you know what? Back in the day, I would never have had any peace with the Falcones. They hurt so many of our people over time. But sometimes, my son, the best thing to do is to make peace with your enemies and to support each other through these tumultuous times. You can't have all these people coming after you. You got to make the right decision for your family and for yourself. And another thing, and he gets shot in the throat. He's like, Papa! And then he looks at me, it's like, just fucking throat, all this meat and blood starts pouring out. It's like, oh my God, Papa Maroni. And he looks, Chat, and we see the holiday killer. And this person just fucking takes off running. And Sal's like, you motherfucker, you. And he runs after the holiday killer, Chat, but he gets all tripped up in the vineyard, and then Sophia, she comes running in. She's like, baby, I heard gunshots. What's going on? And he's like, kill my papa. And then he looks back, and apparently the fucking holiday killer had time to loop around and put like the gun right there and a couple other knickknacks and shit. And they walk back there, and he just cries into the shoulder of his dead father. Chad, it's like, Jesus Christ. After that, we cut, and we are with Carmine Falcone in the graveyard, Chad, in Gotham Cemetery. Gets out of his car. He has these fucking flowers. You think he's going to be visiting his son? Nope. Goes right past the grave and goes in this mausoleum where he meets with this guy. This guy looks like fucking Mo from the Three Stooges. And he's like, I guess he gives him some money, and he's paying him off to do something. And the guy's like, all right, the job will be done. He's like, good. And he leaves. And apparently Catwoman was following Carmen Falcone, Chad. She was staking that place out, and she was watching Papa Falcone. Why was she doing that? We shall learn later on during this review. Eventually, Chad, we cut to the office of one Harvey Dent. He's flipping that coin and drinking coffee, and he keeps looking around like someone's talking, and we don't know who, though. But then who knocks on the door and who welcomes themselves in there? Who opens it? Fucking Sal Maroni. And Harvey's like, and Harvey grabs, like, he has this envelope opener, and he grabs and he hides it behind his wrist. Like, he's like, if this guy comes to me, I'm going to stab him in the fucking eyeball. And, like, the voice says, stab him in the throat. And he's like, shut up. And Sal's like, are you okay, District Attorney Dent? He's like, yeah, what are you doing here, Sal? He's like, listen, I never thought I would ever do this. I had to talk with my father, who's now fucking dead, by the way. And he was talking about making peace with our enemies. And my father once said he would never make peace with Carmine Falcone and the Falcones. But maybe that's not who he was talking about. Maybe he was talking about making peace with the law, with you, Harvey Dent. And he's like, what are you saying, Sal? He's like, listen, I have a lot of dirt. I have a lot of information on Carmine Falcone. Multiple crimes that he's committed, okay? I can give all of that to you in the court of law, okay? And he's like, well, what's the catch? What do you want? He's like, all outstanding warrants against me and my family and my various employees are dropped. And Harvey's like, that's not possible. And he's like, that's the only way you're going to get me on that fucking stand and to testify against Carmine Falcone. Harvey's like, fine, okay, fuck me, fine, okay, good. He's like, that's the deal, Mr. DA. Eventually, chat, we cut. That's the thing, too. Before they do that, Harvey's like, okay, I'll agree to the deal if this lands on heads, Chad, his coin, but it's heads on both sides. Gets cute. He flips it and lands on heads. He's like, deal. It's like, let the coin decide. But then we cut you. It's the 4th of July. Yay, America's birthday. Fantastic. And little Jim Gordon and his wife are out there taking the kids around there. Barbara's out there, chat. Little Jim Jr. before he became a serial killer. They're out there having fun on America's birthday, chat. They're joined by Harvey Dent and Gilda. And Harvey and Gilda are they just shouldn't be together at this point. They're just like very toxic relationship. And Gilda's all sad. And Harvey looks at, Jim Gordon and his wife's kids. And he goes, you know what, Gilda, I think maybe you're right. And she goes, what do you mean? He's like, about the kids. He's like, excuse me? I don't think we should have children. I don't think we're in the right mind to have children. And as they're talking about this, and she's like, we can do therapy. He's like, I don't want to do therapy. I don't need therapy. I never needed therapy. And she's like, all right, well, don't get mad. He's like, I'm not getting mad, all right? I'm just telling you, I don't need therapy. And then suddenly this fucking gunman comes out of fucking nowhere, chat, and is coming right at Harvey Dent. He's like, oh! And right before the guy's about to jump Harvey, Catwoman comes out of nowhere and starts beating the shit out of this gunman, chat. Bop, 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 just hitting the crap out of him, chat. And she's like, she says, Dent, get out of here, take everyone out of here, I'll deal with this guy. And they go, and they're on like this boardwalk. And they go over the boardwalk, chat. And Dent's like, fuck that, I'm angry. And he jumped, in the voice is like, get in there now. And he's like, yeah, okay. And he jumped, and Gilda's like, Harvey, where are you going? He's like, I gotta take care of this. And he jumps down there, and he finds Catwoman, like, struggling with this guy. That's the thing, like, this guy's he's wound up on top of Catwoman. She is strangling her as she's trying to stop the gun. He's strangling her with one arm when he's trying to use the other one to shoot her in the face. And she's like, shit, this is bad. Harvey comes over, just fucking starts wailing on the guy. And he takes off running. He takes off running. And Catwoman's like, I told you to get out of here. It's like, you needed my help. And she's like, listen, Dent, because she knew about the guy being hired by Carmine Falcone about to killed them? We don't know. But she says, listen, you need to get out of here. This is all set up. And he's like, I ain't letting that guy go. And the cops are showing up, and he fucking takes off running. Catwoman's like, I tried. And she leaves because she's a wanted criminal too. But Harvey Dent, he follows the guy into the sewer where he starts fighting with him, but the guy gets the upper hand on fucking Harvey, starts, beating the shit out of him. And, Harvey, just before he passes out, is like, why were you trying to kill me? What's this all about? And it's like, if I was trying to kill you, you'd be dead already. So what is all this about? Why was this guy hired, chat? To provoke Mr. Dent. And he leaves, and Harvey blacks out, but then he hears this voice, get up and kill the bastard. And then Harvey comes to eventually, Chad. He comes to, and he's out of the sewer, and he notices his hands and his entire torso is just covered in fucking blood. He's like, what? And he's like, he's so concussed. And then he trips over something. He gets up, and it's the guy. It's the guy he was fighting with, and the guy's fucking head is just gone. It's been blasted away. It looks like his fucking fingers are all broken and bleeding and everywhere. And then there's the holiday gun right there, along with like a little 4th of July knickknack, like the Statue of Liberty. And then the police have shown up, and they're like, I think it's this way. And he fucking panics, and he just runs. He just gets the hell out of there, Chad. He's like, I got to get going. Eventually, Chad, we cut to a Scarecrow who is currently robbing the Gotham National Bank. He's still using the fucking horse, by the way. He's like a horse-drawn carriage now. Okay. And he has all this money. He's throwing over there. He's going back for more. Then Batman shows up. And Scarecrow's like, oh, my God, you again. And so they start fighting and everything. Scarecrow's using every trick that he has, using his fear toxin, sprays at that. Bruce just rips it out of his arm. Scarecrow, then he knocks Scarecrow away. Scarecrow goes into the syringe. Bruce uses the Batarang. Boom. Fucking knocks the goddamn syringe out of his hand. And right before Bruce is about to start pummeling Scarecrow, fucking boom, he's hitting the back of the head. Batman gets knocked in his belfry, chat, and he falls down. Who do we see? The Mad Hatter. Oh, little bat, where are you at? And then Mad Hatter and Scarecrow take the rest of the money, they dump it into the carriage, and they tie up Batman and put him in the back of the carriage, chat. Thank you, C-Man, for the 100 biddies. Can't stay. Just wanted to say, hey, C-Man, no problem at all. Totally understand. Thank you for the 100 Shamrock biddies. Happy soon-to-be St. Patrick's Day to you. The 17th, I believe, correct? No, thank you so much, C-Man. Thank you. Bass. So after that, we cut, and they're going to this graveyard, and they're doing this drop. Apparently, they're dropping off all this money in the mausoleum that Herman Falcone was in. And, I love it because Mad Hatter keeps fucking doing rhymes and stuff, and Scarecrow is just getting more and more annoyed with him. He just starts, repeating dialogue from Alice in Wonderland. Scarecrow's like, oh, this fucking guy. I love how annoyed he was at Mad Hatter. It was very amusing. But eventually, Mad Hatter even says, the Bat, he wasn't part of the deal. We can have fun with him afterwards. Scarecrow's like, that's a good idea. It's the best fucking thing you've said all night. And they go back to the carriage. Batman's gone. And they're like, fuck. And Batman just starts first of all, Scarecrow tries to get him with his other hand, get some fear toxin. Batman breaks his fucking hand and then shoves it into his face. And so he just gets a fucking face full of fear toxin. He's like, he starts fucking panicking and shit. While Mad Hatter is just laughing, and Batman's just like, shut up, and just punches Mad Hatter out, knocks him out. Mad Hatter knew he was fucked. He's like, well, this is it for me, but I'm going to have a good laugh about this, chat. But what was this all about? Scarecrow and Mad Hatter working for Herman Falcone. I wonder. Eventually we cut to, this is the other time. This is when Harvey, he's back at home. And this is several days after when he maybe killed that guy. We don't know, when he blacked out, and like him and Gilda are like barely talking to each other, and he's leaving again to go to work because he has to get to the office early because of the case against Sal Maroni. He's gonna in the court, he's gonna reveal all of Carmine Falcone's crimes and through his testimony. And right before he leaves, he says, Gilda, you left the basement light on again. And she goes, no, I didn't. And he's like, whatever. And he just leaves. And Batman's down there. Batman is down there, chat, in the basement. And he's looking over all the materials. He finds this one little workshop area where he finds 2 of Holliday's guns right there. And fucking Batman's like, oh, shit. And he also sees like a whole shit ton of stuff from Oxford, the university chat, like a flag from Oxford, some of the knickknacks from Oxford and things. He's like, oh my God, it's all connected. And so then we cut from the basement chat, and Harvey's in the courtroom. He's trying to get all his papers together, and the judge is waiting for him. Sal Maroni's waiting for him. But Harvey he's something's wrong with him. He seems distracted. He doesn't seem organized like he usually is. He's just kind of erratic, and he constantly hears this voice: "You should kill him now." And he's like, "Huh? What?" And then the judge is like, "Mr. Den, do you need any assistance?" He goes, "No, Your Honor." He's like, "Are you ready to begin? Are you ready to begin the hearing?" "Yes, of course, sir." And he gets all of his papers, organized, and he stands up and he goes, "Mr. Sal Maroni, a murderer." And he's like, "What?" And it was like, Sal's like, you okay, Mr. DA? He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, thank you." And he starts doing the whole, basically asking him all these questions, trying to get all these answers from him. Eventually, Jim Gordon's watching this, and Jim Gordon's like just really weirded out by the way that Harvey's acting. And then Renee Montoya comes over, and she's like, "He's here." He's like, "Who's here?" "Batman." He's like, you know who. He's on the rooftop in broad daylight. And she goes, "Yeah, he needs to talk to you immediately. He said it was very important." He goes, "Okay." And so he goes up the stairs. She goes to the roof. He's like, "I've never seen you in the daylight before." And he's like, "Well, it's for a good reason." He's like, "Why?" He's like, it's about the Holiday Killer." He's like, you know, do you know who he is?" He goes, "Yes, and you're not going to like it." And then he produces the 2 bags of guns in front of him, and then he's like, "Oh, God, no." And then we cut back to Harvey, who's interrogating Sal Maroni, and he's asking him all these questions, and Sal's like, "Oh, yeah, I killed these 2 guys, dumped them in Gotham Bay, that's why that's why I don't drink the water. It gives me a stomach ulcer." And everyone in the courtroom starts laughing, even though he's talking about all the crimes he did. He's working the fucking room chat. He's working the crowd, and they're loving it. And Harvey's just getting more mad. He's getting more frustrated. And he's like, you can say under oath that Carmine Falcone was the one who was responsible, who ordered you for committing these murders, correct?" And he goes, No, Carmine Falcone is an upstanding citizen of Gotham. He's like, "What?" He goes, "Nah, District Attorney. I mean, he's a philanthropist, has, charitable foundations, children's hospitals. He's not a murderer. He's not that kind of guy." Everyone's like, "Oh, Harvey, you're a fuck up." And Harvey gets really close to Sal. He's like, "Sal, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What's this all about? What you're supposed to indict? We're supposed to fucking indict. You're supposed to Carmine Falcone." And he's like, "Oh, Carmine, he was a dad, right? He was a dad, still is a father, Dent." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "It was Father's Day not too long ago. I had a father too. And I just want to let you know, from my father to you, fucking boppity boopy Maroni sends his regards." And he throws this vial into Harvey's face, and his whole fucking face starts falling off. It gets on his fucking hand, gets on like some of his body, gets on his thick thighs, and he just starts screaming. And he's like, "Yeah, scream, Dad, scream. Try to get that stuff off you. It's so strong like it can melt fucking concrete." And the fucking even Batman and Gordon can hear Harvey screams in the courtroom, all the way on the roof. They run down there, and Harvey's just he's flailing on the floor, and like people are trying to get to him, but he's so erratic, and they're like, Harvey, like Batman has to punch him to knock him out. It's not good. It's pretty fucking bad. Eventually, Harvey is hospitalized. Shed. He has all these bandages around his face, around his hand, around his thick thigh, as you need, chat. And we have we see Gordon outside, we see Gilda outside, some of the doctors, and a number of GCPD officers, and they all believe that he is indeed the Holiday Killer at this point. And Harvey comes to, and because he's listening to them, and then he's like, he's about to say something, but then he hears the voice. He's like, "I think I should take over right now. You've done enough work, Harvey. I can finish the job." And he's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem." And his phone starts to ring, and he picks up the phone. He's like, "Yeah, oh no, I'm fine. I'll be right there." And then he leaves. No one locks the windows in these hospitals. And then they all go inside the room. And they're like, don't worry, Harvey will be fine. They all go in there. He'll recover in a couple of days, sure. And he's gone. It's like, the nurse is like, oh, God, he's gone. It's like, fucking lock the window. He's done this again. He did this in the first movie. It's like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. Eventually, we cut to this car, and it stops at the docks right here, and these two guys get out, and Harvey's with them. He's in his suit now, but it's all, you can see all the burn marks, and the melted skin is still on it and everything. And the two guys get out, and they just stand like right in front of Harvey, Two-Face at this point, but they still call him Harvey Dent. And, Harvey's like, so Falcone's not here, is he? And they go, no, and they pull out their guns on him, and he gets another call on the phone, and it's from Carmine. He's like, you're not here, are you? You're not coming. He's like, sorry, District Attorney Dent, but this is the end of the line for you. Send my fucking regards to the fishes. And Harvey plays it smart, though. He goes, the boss wants to talk to you. And the guy's like, all right. And he goes to the phone, and Harvey grabs his hand, breaks it, grabs him. The other guy starts shooting, and Harvey uses the guy's body to block all the bullets. He throws the guy on top of the other one, starts shooting him, and they careen over the edge, Chet. They careen over the edge. Harvey, then the guy's like, trying to swim. Harvey jumps on top of him in the water and snaps his fucking neck. But I guess they're like new to the sewer system, so they're getting sucked into the sewer, and Harvey can't swim fast enough until he's sucked down into the sewer system, chat. Oh boy! Oh boy. Eventually we cut to Carla Falcone. She's going to her brother's birthday party. Ooh, she's excited. She's excited, chat. She's at the elevator and things. She's smoking a cigarette, but the elevator's taking so goddamn long and someone's using it. She's like, Jesus Christ, it's a private elevator. Who could be using it? Everyone's already up there. We then cut to Carmine, who's talking and schmoozing with all of his guests, and eventually his daughter, Sophia, who's wearing this dress, looking thick, she comes out, she's got this big old birthday cake, and she's saying, happy birthday, dear Papa, happy birthday to you. He's like, oh, you look beautiful, and oh, thank you, all this cake is beautiful, I love it. He blows out the candles, and he raises his glass to everyone. He's like, I just want to thank everyone for being here. As you know, this has been a real tough time. The law has come down hard, unjustly. The law is supposed to be just, and it's come down unjustly on all of us. And I just want to thank you. Many people have said it, but I just want to thank you for weathering it with me. You guys are my family, just as my beautiful Sophia is my family and my wonderful daughter. She's like, oh, Daddy. And he's like, I love you. And he's like, and my sister, where's my beautiful sister, Carla? Yeah, by the way, Carla's been like going on all the news channels saying like, fuck you for saying my family's in the mob. They're great. They're upstanding citizens of Gotham. She's like, she's been killing in those interviews. Don't you agree? No, don't laugh. It's been helping. That is fucking TV. That's prime time entertainment. Where is she? Where's my beautiful sister? And then the elevator doors open, and we see her fucking body. She's just been blown away, chat. And there's a little birthday cake right there. And the holiday killer killed Carmine Falcone's little sister, Carla. And she too, chat, is another victim. It's like, it won't end. So Harvey Dent clearly is not the holiday killer, chat. Ooh, someone else is. Eventually, Batman goes to the Dent residence, and he wants to talk to Gilda, and he's like, where the hell is your husband? She's like, I don't know. I haven't seen him in weeks. I don't even know if he even truly is my husband anymore. It's like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, he's been fighting personal demons for so long, and I've seen this in him before, but never that bad until what I saw in the courtroom. It was awful. And he's like, did he ever go to Oxford? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, all right. Because he's asking, he's like, okay, she's trying to put this together. It's like, Oxford's the key, chat. And she's like, I'm not sure. Harvey didn't really like to talk about his past. And he's like, okay. And he leaves. Eventually, we cut back to the sewer. Fat dabs for Christ. Dab. Hope you're doing well. I'm dabbing. We cut to the sewers, and Harvey's made a friend. Big bad Harvey. Harvey Two-Face has made a friend, chat. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. And Harvey Dent's there, and apparently, like I guess fucking Solomon Grundy is like a Labrador for Harvey. I guess Harvey's just been talking to him and taking care of him. And like Solomon Grundy, like he's like a fucking cat. He's always breeding like dead rats and mice to Harvey. And Harvey's like, dinner time again, is it? And fucking Solomon Grundy's just eating all of his shit. And Harvey starts doing like the whole Solomon Grundy. What's the whole Solomon Grundy poem, chat? I probably should have this open. Solomon Grundy poem. Because he recites it all. And fucking Solomon Grundy's like, oh, this guy fucking gets me. I really love it. Here it is. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on a Tuesday, married on. That's what he says. He does it in the Two-Face voice. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on a Tuesday, married on a Wednesday, took ill on Thursday, grew worse on Friday, died on a Saturday. And then Solomon Grundy says, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, reborn on a Monday. Is that what happened to you? You died and you came back stronger, better than ever. That's what happened to me, Solomon. We're two sides of the same coin. Maybe it's time to show the world who Harvey Dent really is, who Harvey Dent has been reborn into. Let's have a night on the town. It's like, all right, cool. Thank you. Lakona, good to see you. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Eventually, Batman, he goes to Arkham Keys. He wants to visit Calendar Man. And Batman's like, Calendar Man, I have more questions to ask you. He's like, listen, you're trying to convince yourself if Harvey Dent's not the holiday killer. He's like, how do you know about it? Well, he seems to be the most likely suspect. Do you believe he is the holiday killer, Batman? And he's like, I don't know. I have all these questions. I thought it was the Joker. I think it's maybe Harvey, but part of me doesn't want to believe it. It's like, you have to, listen, detective, you have to come to terms with that. I know he's your friend, but sometimes your friends become your most dangerous enemies. By the way, it's Labor Day. Batman's like, shit! He fucking runs out of Arkham. Everyone forgets about Labor Day, Chad. That is a holiday. And then it's prisoner transfer day. It's prison transfer day. And Jim Gordon is personally transferring Sal Maroni to another, more secure prison out of Gotham at this point. And Sal Maroni's in the back talking shit. There's one guard in the back trying to, make sure Sal Maroni doesn't get too rambunctious. But all of a sudden, boom! Fucking Solomon Grundy himself, born on a motherfucking Monday, about to fuck things up on Labor Day, comes out of the fucking sewer, stops the goddamn car, rips open the door. Sal Maroni's like, oh, fucking shit. He takes off running. And the guard is just being pummeled by Solomon Grundy. The guard's holding up, though. He's holding his own against Solomon Grundy. Jim Gordon runs after Sal Maroni, but Sal Maroni goes down this alleyway and he's cut off, chat, by Harvey Dent. He's cut off by Harvey Dent. He goes, how you doing, Sal? And he's like, Jesus Christ, Dent, you're still alive? He's like, Dent is dead, my friend. I've been reborn. You can call me Two-Face. And he has a Two-Face, chat. He's like, got the suit on and everything. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. He's like, oh, fuck me. And he's like, I have to thank you. Without you, Sal, I would have never been reborn. I would have never awakened, never had the realization. And then Jim's like, Jesus Christ, Harvey, we need to get back to the hospital, okay? Just come with us, Jimbo. Always good to see you. So caring. The family man, despite lying to his wife, two-faced as ever. And he's like, Harvey, listen, I don't know what's happening right now, but you can come back with us, okay? We can take you back. We can get you the help you need. And eventually, we cut back to Solomon Grundy, who's like still pummeling on this guard, and the guard, like, I think he releases a toxin. He releases some kind of, that's right, he releases a smoke bomb. He shoves it in Solomon Grundy's mouth. It explodes, and Solomon Grundy just starts coughing. He's kind of knocked out. He's a little hazy, a little concussed. And the guard runs over, and he's like, Harvey, you need to stop. And he's like, who are you? And the guy takes off the mask. It's Batman, chat. He's like, Bats, nice costume. How do you like mine? And it's like, Harvey, listen, we're here to help you, okay? I was like, just come with us, all right? You need psychiatric help. He's like, no, the only thing I need is the coin. Here's the thing we're gonna do, boys. Heads, Sal. No, he says tails. He says heads, Sal lives. Tails, Sal dies. I don't get to choose what happens to him. It's the coin. Perfect, clear, luck, justice. And he's like, and fucking Batman was like, Harvey, we know there's only heads on that coin. He's like, I've made some changes, Bats. And he flips the fucking coin, chat. Before any of that can fuck happen, before the coin even comes down, boom, Sal Maroni is shot. And they look up at this fire escape, and it's the Holiday Killer. And then, Two-Face is like, look at that. Blind luck. Chance. And, he tackles Batman, and then he runs, and he fucking just bashes fucking Jim in the face with his fucked up hand. He's like, move your ass, Grundy, we're getting out of here. And Grundy's like, burn on a Monday. He's like, I know, burn on a Monday. And they run away. But they check on Sal Maroni. Sal Maroni's fucking dead. His brain's got all blown out. And they're like, holy shit, so the Holiday Killer is still out there. Batman's like, that's weird. We never had the Holiday Killer present himself like that before for everyone to see. That's not the Holiday Killer's MO. It's almost as if they wanted to make sure that Two-Face, that they would let everyone know that Two-Face was not responsible for all the murders committed as Holiday. Eventually we cut from that, chat. And, yes, now it's Halloween night. It's Halloween night, chat. At Wayne Manor at this point. Bruce is questioning this whole, it's a year since the original Holiday killing, and Bruce has not made any progress on it. Like, this ally that he had in Harvey Dent has seemingly gone insane, and he's questioning his role as Batman, whether it's right, whether it's actually helping Gotham, and whether this is what his parents would want. And Alfred tries to cheer him. He says, listen, your parents made many mistakes, and you're going to make many mistakes too, but they would be incredibly proud of you, Bruce. Disturbed and for you and concerned, but very proud of you. You are carrying on the Wayne legacy in your own way, and you are helping the people of Gotham. And Harvey Dent needs your help more now than ever. And he's like, all right, fine, I'll go help Harvey. Eventually, we cut to the Dent residence where Gilda is under protection from the GCPD. Renee Montoya is there along with another detective. And, Gilda's like, is this really necessary? Renee Montoya is like, your husband might come back. We don't make sure he doesn't hurt you. And she's like, I have no husband. He died with Two-Face. And she's like, okay, cool. Eventually, we cut, and we were with Calendar Man, and Calendar Man's just kind of resting in his cell, just, with his eyes closed, and then the guard comes over, and he's like, ooh, what day is it, Julian? His name is Julian Day. He's like, what day is it, Julian? And he's like, it's Halloween. It's, 30 days from the 1st of October. It's so many days until Thanksgiving, so many days until Christmas. And the guard's like, and it's Taco Tuesday. Muy bien. Taco Tuesday, chat. And then wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. All the alarms start going off in Arkham Asylum. They're like, oh, Jesus. And they all run towards this one door because they hear this boom, 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 boom. And they're like, oh, what the fuck is it? Then boom, the door just fucking shoots out and it crushes half the guards. The other ones are trying to run away, but Solomon Grundy just grabs them and goes and just squeezes them like ketchup bottles. Maybe you ever had like a little packet of ketchup, chat, or mustard, or hot sauce, or soy sauce. Imagine if that was a human being, and Grundy just grabbed you, and all of your intestines just shot out of your mouth and your butthole. That's what happens in this movie, chat. It's a goddamn nightmare. And then Harvey Dent is there, and he's like, let's have some fun. Happy Halloween, Arkham. And he's gonna break out all the fucking prisoners, chat. Oh joy, can't wait. Eventually, Batman goes, that's the thing, Batman goes and talks with Jim Gordon, and Batman's even like, Jesus Christ, Jim, I mean, everything that happened to Harvey, it just has me second guessing everything we're doing. Even Jim's got to like, no, Batman, like, we can do this, okay? We can help Harvey, we can bring down Carmine Falcone, all right? We can have order in Gotham City, we have to do it the right way, we got to help our friend. And Batman asks him, did Harvey ever go to Oxford? And Jim's like, no, Harvey went to Gotham University. He took night classes in order to get his degree so he can become a lawyer and then DA. He didn't go to Oxford. And Bruce is like, fuck, I know who the Holiday Killer is now. I was like, oh, I figured it out. He doesn't say that, but he knows. Now he knows who the Holiday Killer is at this point. But, oh no, Chad, we cut to Carmine. We cut to Carmine, and he is talking with his daughter, Sophia, and Yes. Yeah, that's the part where that's the part where they're talking to each other, and Carmine he's just very distraught at this point. Everything seems to be falling apart, and Sophia is like, Dad, I can help you. He's like, you know what, I was stupid to not accept your help. I need you now more than ever. And she's like, I understand that, Dad, and I want to be there for you, but you can't keep hiring these crazies, people like Poison Ivy and Scarecrow. I mean, they're making this town worse. I mean, I know what we're doing it's different than what other people do, but we at least had order. And he's like, times are changing. I had to evolve the times. And she's like, I don't know if we can. I don't know if that's even possible at this point. And then they hear something. Apparently there's a security thing going on. She's like, I'll go check it. You stay here. And they go. And Batman shows up to talk to Carmine Falcone. And so he needs to ask him about Holiday. And they're having this discussion. And he's going to Batman saying, you know what my people have been calling this whole thing, Batman? And he's like, no, we've been calling it the Long Halloween, because that's all these murders. They'll serve the original Halloween, and here we are on the anniversary, and I'm losing control of everything. And I thought if I went after the Dents, I could finally stop the Holiday killings. And he's like, Harvey's not Holiday. And Carmine's like, I know he's not Holiday. And so revealing that Carmine also knows the identity of the Holiday killer by this point. But he's like, I can't get to that person now. And Batman's like, holy shit. And then Catwoman shows up. And she's she wants to talk to Carmine. But it's getting a little awkward because fucking Sophia, she bursts in of all the guards, and Carmine says, it's fine, but you two need to go. And so Batman and Catwoman, they go over to this other building across the way, and Batman's like, why did you show up? Why are you here? And she's like, fucking Carmine Falcone's my dad. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, he's my dad. And I have a mom. I don't know who my mom is. I never knew her name. And the only way I can find out about my mom is through him, okay? He never raised me. I was never part of this family, and that's why I've been following him this whole time. And Batman's like, oh, shit. And she's like, remember that? Do you remember when you said you call me your mom? And he's like, sorry about that. I got bad mommy issues. She's like, yeah, I know. And then boom, they start kissing. They start kissing and start roof fucking chat. That's smooching and fucking on the rooftop. But oh geez, big explosions start happening in Gotham City, downtown Gotham. And all these Gotham villains, all these Batman villains have escaped. Shit, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, and Mad Hatter. They're laying waste to downtown Gotham City. And it's like, well, that's not fucking good. And Batman and Catwoman go in that direction to try and stop it all. Try to stop all of it, yeah. But we then cut to Carmine and Sophia Falcone, and they're continuing their conversation from last time. What did Batman want, etc. But then they hear from their phone starts ringing, and Carmine picks it up, and he's like, what's going on? Because they hear all these explosions and bullets from downstairs. Like, sir, it's dead. And then it's just cut off and stuff, chat. And we see from all these guards start coming out to this near this elevator in that ballroom area. They're all setting up checkpoints and stuff, and all these assault rifles and things. And these elevators open up, and Solomon Grundy bursts out. And behind Solomon Grundy, we have Two-Face, we have the Joker, and we have Penguin, chat. And they just start fucking slaughtering all of Carmine Falcone's guards. Grundy's smashing them. Penguin is, filling their voids, chat. I want to fill her void. He's filling all the voids, chat, you could possibly imagine. A plan is forming and everything. Joker's doing his Joker thing. Two-Face flipping coins and shit. Everyone's dying, chat. Carmine and Sophia, they go to the weapons locker room, which is inside the room. Fucking Carmine, he grabs like a giant, looks like a fucking sniper rifle. I don't know how you're going to do that and use that in here. Fucking Sophia, she grabs 2 M4s and is like gonna do the fucking Scarface thing. And Carmine's like, Sophia, no. And she kicks down the fucking door. She's like, you wanna fucking play, motherfuckers? Let's play. And she starts shooting at them. And they all, Joker, Two-Face, and Penguin, all start, they all take cover behind Solomon Grundy, who just keeps walking forward. Penguin, he's beneath the ball sack of one Solomon Grundy, chat. And he activates his umbrella. Boom! Shoots a fucking rocket-propelled grenade right underneath, or no, right above Sophia, and all this debris comes down and crushes her, chat. And fucking Carmine, he's like, he runs out there and he sees Sophia got all smushed up. He's like, Sophia. And they're like, you. And Two-Face's like, you have nowhere to go, Carmine. He's like, fuck. And he runs back into his office at this point. And, he runs in there, he locks all the fucking doors, then boom, his beautiful windows all burst open, and all these vines start coming in. They wrap them. It's Poison Ivy with Mad Hatter and Scarecrow. And then Two-Face comes there, he's like, we need to have a little chat, face to face. Then cut to downtown Gotham where Jim Gordon is. Like, a lot of downtown's been destroyed by Poison Ivy and Scarecrow and Mad Hatter. And they realize, as Batman and Catwoman show up, they realize that it was a distraction, and because they left as soon as they caused all this destruction. And Jim's like, where could they possibly be? And Batman's like, shit. And then we cut. Oh, this is a really funny scene because, like, all the villains have broken out of Arkham, but we cut back to Arkham Asylum and only one villain is still there, and it's Calendar Man, and he's like, I meant to say heads, because what Harvey Dent did is he went to each cell and said, heads or tails, you pick, and if you guess it, I'll let you out. And fucking Julian Day got it wrong. He's the only criminal who didn't get to escape Arkham of everybody else. Hey, he still gets to enjoy the tacos on Taco Tuesday, Chad. That's good. We then cut to Two-Face and his talk with Carmine Falcone, and he's basically explained to him, I've done this. I've tried to get you for so many years, but it's finally come to this point. I realize, Carmine, after everything, justice is not equal. Justice is about chance. Justice is luck. All it is the flip of a coin. And that's how we're going to decide how you end, live, die. And he's like, it's your choice. And Carmine's like, if you're gonna fucking shoot me. Stop monologuing. It's like, that's not the point. That's not how this has to be. You need to choose. And then Batman bursts in there with Catwoman. And he's like, Harvey, stop. He's like, never. And then they all start fighting the villains at this point. Penguin starts using his goddamn umbrella. Scarecrow's just, squirting all sorts of fear toxin. Joker's laughing in the background stuff. They got to take Solomon Grundy out quick. Catwoman and Batman, they take out Solomon Grundy. Boom, he goes on the floor. He's knocked out. They actually use Scarecrow's fear toxin. So they rip out Scarecrow's fear toxin sacks underneath his arm. They just shove it in Solomon Grundy's mouth and smush it down, and it causes him to. He doesn't get scared. He's just knocked out because he inhales so much of it. Penguin he's about to say, like, you fucking sanctimonious bitch, and then he gets knocked out by Catwoman. At one point, Joker, he's fighting Batman. He has the knives. He's like, oh, Batman, this is wonderful. Usually I don't team up with anyone, but this is so much fun. I gotta give it to Harvey. He knows how to throw a party. And, like, Batman, like, hits him at one point, and he's right on Carmine Falcone's desk, and there's another knife there, but he picks up the phone. He says, excuse me, Harley, I'm sorry. Hold all my messages. I'm going to kill Batman. And he slams the phone down. He starts coming in with the knife, and Batman's like, this is over. He just fucking punches Joker in the face. Joker, he fucking twirls around, gets knocked out. But Poison Ivy's still up. Poison Ivy, she uses her vines to enwrap Catwoman, and then Batman's then put into the back in the fantasy world from a Goofy movie, Chad. His suit's all white. Pamela Isley is walking up to him, and she's like, don't worry, lover. It's all over. You can be with me forever. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. But then she does the no-no, which is she starts taking off his mask, and he goes, no! And he goes, boom, and he fucking bashes his head into her, and she's just knocked the fuck out, Chad. But Two-Face is the only man left standing, Chad, and he has fucking Carmine Falcone. He's got the gun right next to his fucking head, and Batman and Catwoman are like, listen, Harvey, you need to stop, okay? Don't take this any further. It's like, it's not Harvey. It's not Two-Face. We don't decide what happens to him. This is what decides to happen to him. Pure luck, chance, a flip of a coin, judgment day. And he flips the fucking coin and it lands, tails. Boom, boom. And he shoots him twice in the chest, and shoots him in the neck, and he's, and, a Catwoman runs after Harvey, but he smacks her. Batman is just addressing. That's the thing. Catwoman's on top of Harvey. She has the gun, trying to get out of his hand, while Batman is trying to, put pressure on the bullet wounds in Carmine Falcone's neck. Sophia Falcone, she comes to at this point, and because she's not smushed. She's a little smush, Chad, but not too much smush. She gets up, and she comes to the room. She doesn't know what she just sees all these fucking blood and shit everywhere, all these villains knocked the fuck out, and she sees Catwoman with the gun and Carmine Falcone, bleeding, and she's like, it's you, and she fucking just runs at Catwoman. Smacks her, and she's like, no, Sophia, and she just smacks Catwoman. She grabs the gun, and Batman's like, Sophia, don't, and she like rips, because he's trying to keep the wounds there, but she's like right in front of Two-Face, and she's like, go ahead, take your shot, and she fires the gun, but there's no bullets left, and he says, 2 bullets. She's like, no, and she keeps trying to pull the trigger, and then she trips over one of Ivy's vines, and she falls out the window, but Catwoman, she dives for her, grabs her. That's her sister. That's her half-sister's chat. And she's like, Sophia, you need to give me the other hand. You need to lift yourself up. I can't, because she's a whole lot of woman, chat. She's thick. She's thick as fuck. And Catwoman's like, you're too fucking thick. Help me. And she's like, fuck it. And she just lets herself go. Woo, she falls like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 fucking stories. Boom, fucking flattens a goddamn police car, chat. Seemingly dead. We don't know. Two-Face has already escaped. He's run away. And Batman's holding down the woo of Carmine Falcone, but it's too late for him. It's all fucking just coming out. All the blood's coming out. And Catwoman's, she sits down next to Carmine. He's just looking at her because he's like, and she takes off her mask. And he's like, Louisa. And she's like, Louisa, thank you. And she just gets up and she starts walking away. And that was the mother. That was the person that Carmine Falcone had the affair with. And, Batman looks down at him, and, Batman was saying, was it worth it after everything, after all these years, was it worth it? And, Carmine's like, I tried. I did horrible things, but I tried. And then Batman, he's like, right before Carmine Falcone is like, we get what we take. That's the only way we get is if we take it. And Batman says that, what we get, what we take. And Carmine looks at him and he says, you still believe that, don't you? And Batman's like, I still believe it. And then Carmine dies. And so Carmine knows that in that moment, maybe he's known even longer, that Bruce Wayne and Batman are one and the same, because they said that same line to each other all those years ago, Chad. And I like that. That was really, really cool. Really wholesome moment between those two characters that have always been, their families have always been connected. And then Carmine Falcone dies. After that, we then cut to the bat signal. It's been activated, chap, and Jim Gordon is on top of the GCPD where Harvey is, and fucking Jim's like, Harvey, how could you let it go this far? Why did you do this? Why did you become a murderer? He's like, it was the only way, Jim. It was the only way. I broke the promise, but we broke the Roman, and now things will be different. Things will change. And Batman arrives, he's like, yes, they will, Harvey, but you need to go. You need to go. And he's like, one last thing. I am the holiday killer. It was me. I did all those murders. And, they're like, we know you didn't do it, Harvey. I have a confession. And everyone will believe it. And you'll accept it. And I'll pay the price. And he's like, do you still not believe in justice, Harvey? He's like, Harvey still believes. He knows to do one thing right. And he gives himself up. He's like, cuff me, Jimbo. Take me away. And they cuff him at this point, and Batman, he's asking Jim, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, Jim, was this all worth it? And it's like, did we win? He's like, did the good guys win today? Yes, they did, Batman. Was it worth it? I don't know if I can ever answer that question. I'll never fucking know. We've lost so much. And so then we cut And we then have like all the villains have been locked up in Arkham again. And Harvey's the newest resident. He's there in a straitjacket, and he's just sitting there. It's Taco Tuesday. I hate tacos. But he's just sitting there, and he's just kind of seems to be he's got that 1,000-yard stare, and he looks up and he says, "Gilda." And then we cut to Gilda Dent. And she is down in the basement chat near the furnace, and she seems to be burning everything. And Batman shows up, and he's asking her, "What the fuck?" And she's like, I know, I'm the holiday killer. She's the holiday killer, chat. She's the one that's been murdering all these people. Batman's like, okay, explain. She's like, all right, listen. I went to Oxford with Alberto Falcone. We fell in love. He got me pregnant. And we married each other right then and there. He proposed to me right then and there. The thing was, he also told his dad about it. And the dad would not accept me into the family. And he would not accept a child born out of wedlock. So he forced us to annul the marriage. And he forced me to get an abortion. That's what happened. The kid died. And she was like very pregnant. She was like looking like 9 months preggo or like 7 months preggo or something like that, chat. And I was forgotten. And I thought the best way to take vengeance upon all of them was to use Harvey Dent. And, you know, eventually because he had the passion that was necessary through the law to deal with the Falcones. However, in my relationship with Harvey and in my marriage of Harvey, I noticed that he had these personal demons, things that I could exploit and control. But it got out of hand, and I continued to do these killings, but I never wanted him to take the fall for my crimes. And at this point, if I was Batman, I would walk up to her and punch her in the fucking face and say, "Shut up, you're going to jail." That's what it is. And I'm like, but Batman doesn't do that. It's the one thing I'm like, bull fucking shit. Batman would not let this stand. And she's like, "But I promise, Batman, it's done." And he's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, it really is done." I would have been so fucking pissed. I would have been like, "No, shut up, you're going to jail. She should be in fucking prison." But she's like, "It's done forever. Don't you worry." And he's like, "Well, you know, tell that to fucking Harvey." And he's like, "But I'm glad he got that one last thing in there, that one last digger. She deserves that, chat." Batman should see. The thing is, in the comic, in case you don't know, in the comic, chat, Gilda is one of several possible holiday killers that go in the movie, but her motivation in the comic book, not the whole thing of Alberto, which I thought, oh, that makes sense, and that's why they use the binky on the baby nipple on the guns, because it's in reference to the baby they never had. I was like, oh, I get that now. Why she's targeting all the mob families and Carmine Falcone's mob family. Now that makes sense. In the comic, she just wants more time with Harvey. She's just like, I just want to spend more time with him. He's at the office, and I'm really horny, Batman. I'm really horny. And so that always really bothered me that was her motivation. She just wanted to spend more time with Harvey. It's like, really? Really? And so I like the motivation here. However, one thing I do not like is this Batman just lets her go. He just looks like, well, okay. No, she belongs in jail. and everything that's happened, everything to Harvey, all these villains being released in Gotham City and killing all these people. It's her fault. She should be in prison. But whatever. Whatever. Thank you, by the way, to the Bachelor Pad channel for the follow you, my new Huckleberry. I hope you're doing very well. So that's my one criticism against this movie. That's the one change. I'm like, bull fucking shit. Batman should punch her in the face and say, "Shut up, you're going to jail." I don't care. That's the one thing that bothers me. What happened to her was a tragedy. What happened to her was a crime and was evil what was done to her. But she forced so much evil on so many other innocent people and either murdered people, or what her actions led to multiple deaths and multiple murders, or it led to people's lives just being completely fucking ruined. That's the thing. So she should be in jail, in my opinion. However, Batman's like, "I'll leave you off with a warning." It's like, okay. And then he goes. And then we cut to Wayne Manor. Wayne Manor, it's all in one night. Halloween. Alfred's got this big old jack-o'-lantern filled with good old Choco chocolate candy bars. And Bruce is like, "Alfred, there's not going to be any, we haven't had trick-or-treaters in years, so not going to come to the door." And fucking Alfred's like, "Au contraire, Batman. And he opens the door, and who's there at the front door, chat? A couple with their son. The same couple, funny enough, we saw earlier in the movie. And they have their son, and he's dressed as Batman, chat. And fucking Batman's like, cool. And Selena Kyle, who is also there, they're fucking too. Their relationship is continuing on, chat. She's in a little nightie, and she's like, they clearly just had a lot of sex upstairs, chat. Just fuck fumes just coming down the Wayne Manor steps, and she just, kind of thrusts herself on top of him and like holding him from behind. She's like, I love it when Alfred proves you wrong. He's like, I know you do. And then it cuts, chat. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Batman, the Long Halloween. But is it over, chat? No, because then we have a weird... Oh, Deadpool, thank you for the 100 biddies. I already reached my quota for arresting people. You get a free pass this time, Batman. Thank you for the 100 biddies. And Peculiar Wall Meat, thank you so much for resubscribing. Appreciate it. Batman loves the smell of sex. He loves the smell of sex. I mean, women are one of his weaknesses. He always wants to tell them his secret identity to them. As soon as he falls in love, you want to know my secret identity? He's like, no, Batman, don't do that. Don't do that. There might be a supervillain. But then we cut. And we get a weird end credit stinger where I guess it's later in the night. Alfred has I guess there's been a lot of trick-or-treaters because he only has a couple of chocolate bars left. And he opens the door and the Flash and Green Arrow are there. And he turns around and he's like, Master Bruce, I think this is for you. And then it just cuts, which is a really weird ending because I don't know what other movie that connects. I know that they're establishing another animated universe. Batman the Long Halloween Part 1 and Part 2 are connected to the Superman movie Man of Tomorrow and the most recent DC animated film where the Flash goes back in the past in World War II and fights alongside Wonder Woman and like the Jay Garrick Flash and maybe like Hawkman and stuff. I think that's it. I believe that's it. But yeah, it's weird. It's just weird to connect it to because it's so in its own thing, but whatever. That's it, chat. But overall, it's a great movie. I would give it, I think I gave, the last one, a full price. I would give this, a full price. It's just that one portion that ending where Batman let her go. I mean, no, she's got to go to jail. That's the one thing that kind of sticks in my craw a little bit, chat. But still a full price. I think it gave her better motivation in the comics. Also, Alberto Falcone was also one of the other holiday killers at one point. And but they got rid of him, which is fine. I mean, not that he was a bad character. I just him being Holiday didn't make any sense to me either. And Riddler also plays a role in The Long Halloween, but they took out his stuff completely, which was fine with me. It wasn't necessary to have the Riddler in there. And just study film is great because it's not what you think it is. Cool. But thank you, Chad, and thank you, Valkyrie. To me, that ending could have been better, but I enjoyed both parts. Says was like, yes, so for Selena's actress. So again, huge shout out, Chad, because I will say, the voice actress who voices Selena, Naya Rivera, does an excellent job. She does a really good job voicing the character. I really like the design for this Selena. I like the way her suit looks. It's very slick. She's super competent. I like her relationship with Batman and Bruce. So often, that's such a toxic relationship. But here, it's really positive. They bring out, what I like about this relationship, they really do bring out the best in each other, which is kind of rare to see in the Batman-Catwoman relationship. That's usually not on display. And so to see it here, I really like that. And, they truly are destined to be with each other forever. But yeah, I dug it. I wish he taped her confession. Oh, it would have been awesome. Maybe that would have been awesome if he just went click when he had the confession and just walked out. And so it's implied that she would be arrested. That's what should have happened. That's what should have happened. That's the one thing that bothers me about this movie. It's there's no fucking way that Batman would let her get away with that. She hurt so many. Listen, she killed criminals. I understand that. Batman would be like, no, I don't give a fuck. You're murdering. No, that's my one rule. I'm not gonna let you kill anybody. And her everything she did caused so much chaos. So. No, she should have been in jail, in my honest opinion. Of course, I love vernal storytelling, bro. It's a loss. Thank you. Oh, verbal. I was like, verbal story. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. My exaggerated version. Hope you like my Harvey Two-Face voice. That's what he sounds like. Very Richard Mole. I will say, Josh Duhamel was really, kind of what's the word I'm looking for? But he was clearly inspired by the voice of Richard Mole from Batman Animated Series. He was just doing that same voice, and that was really cool to see that. I really liked that. What part did I like more? Man, it's because I really like all the Two-Face stuff in this. Like, this is some really great. This is one of the best Two-Face stories of all time. His origin. I just love how it's all connected and how he's in control of all the villains. That's really neat. Because usually it's like, oh, it's Joker or whoever. So to see Two-Face in such command, that's really interesting. I really like that. I love all the Catwoman stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I like them both. It's just, the only really big negative that I had with this movie, again, is that one bit of the ending. I was like, it sticks in my craw. But I like them both equally. I think they're quite good. These last several months have been good for Cinecals. They have been, man. I think the whole Falcone Gilda thing was unnecessary. See, I didn't mind that. I like that. I mean, that made sense to me. I was like, oh, okay, that's why she's targeting the Falcone crime family so specifically. Instead of, because her motivation, the comic was, I just want to spend more time with Harvey. That's it. Which is weird. And Jeff Loeb, who's the writer of The Long Halloween, he has a problem with character motivation, because it's the same issue I had with the Hush comic. Hush, first of all, in Hush, there's a whole new character introduced named Tommy Elliott. I wonder who he is. He's Hush, chat. Spoiler. And he concocts this fucking huge plan to kill Batman, Bruce Wayne, blah, 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 blah. And the reason why he does it's like, okay, what's the reason? What's the reason? Why has he been doing all of this? He's been fighting the Batman, the Bat family for all these months. And you learn that the reason why he hates Batman and Bruce Wayne is because years ago, Thomas Wayne saved Thomas Elliott's father and his mother. And I believe, he tried to. They were in an auto accident. Thomas Wayne managed to save, I think, like his mom, but the father died. And you find out years later, he's like, I wish your father never saved my family and my mother, Bruce. And Bruce is like, wait, what? Why? He's like, because I tried to kill my family. I cut the brakes from their car so they would crash, so I would inherit all their money. But then I didn't get their money. And instead, I had to work for money, and I became the greatest surgeon in the world, where I make millions upon millions of dollars. But I didn't want to have to work for it, Batman, because I'm a lazy fuck. That was his motivation. And I'm like, lame. And so they changed it for that movie, and it made a lot of sense. He learned Batman's, and it's fucking weird. He learned the identity of Batman Bruce Wayne from the Riddler, who we learned the very last few pages had cancer, and Riddler found a Lazarus pit owned by Ra's al Ghul and used it. And he suddenly knew Batman was Bruce Wayne, and he sold it to Tommy Elliott. And it's all in the last few pages. Like, what? And it's so dumb. It's so dumb. In the adaptation, they make it where the Riddler is Hush, and he just comes up with a whole new persona because he feels like he's evolved from the Riddler, and he's been imbued because he takes a dip in the Lazarus pit. His intelligence is increased, and his athletic prowess is increased. And he becomes a whole new person. And I really like that. And the whole thing with Tommy Elliott is like, what the fuck? And so I like that in each of these adaptations, they address Jeff Loeb's weakness, which is consistently, throughout his entire career, character motivation. So I really like that. I think not in jail because felt it put her in jail would be betraying what Harvey wanted. I guess so. I mean, he did it for Harvey, but still, I've been like, fuck that. I don't care. Harvey's crazy. DeMille's on Rick. He did a good job. I read that they are equal. Says Jason. Oh, good to see you, by the way. One of my mom's friends actually taught Judge Jamil when he was in high school. What? Why did she tell Alberto? Why did she tell Alberto? She didn't. When Synopsis said Batman, it was a mistake. She said Bruce when she saw Batman, and it was an accident, and he died anyway, immediately right after. Jupiter's Legacy was not good, but I like Josh Jamil on the show. Oh, here it comes, says Slayer. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I went off, chat. I did a little rant. I did a little rant, chat. Yeah, but in the movie version, in order to make the Riddler's motivation make sense, they had to make it seem like he was the laughingstock, the rogues guy, which was never the case. I mean, it kind of, though, was. I mean, it's in a lot of Batman material, he kind of is looked down upon by other villains. It's certainly in Long Halloween. So the reason it's dumb as fuck, but you showed how dumb it is. Indeed. I wasn't a fan of the Hush animated films ending. I hated the Riddler being the Hush, but I did like the twist on why Selina broke up with Bruce. Yeah, I just don't agree. Yeah, agree, disagree. I prefer that ending. I prefer that. I liked what they did. That's just me. Who was the writer on these films? I don't know. I don't know who did the running of Hush. The writer on written by Tim Sheridan, who I think did a good job. Yeah. Phil Wands. Hey, just have a question. Are you going to review Dragon Ball superhero movie with Double Toasted? I think that would be cool. I don't know. I don't know when that's coming out. It's weird, the screenings that they get. Sometimes they're sent the screeners. Sometimes they have the screen. They do it during the Wednesday show, the Tuesday show. Maybe, but then I have to, I know how I would get the movie. I'd have to see it. And I'm not sure. I will at least review it on my own channel if I get the chance to, like I did with Dragon Ball Super Broly. I did a spoiler review of that. That was pretty fun. But I can't say if we would be able to do it on DT. I don't even know if they will do it on DT. It's a good question, though. They might, because I know that review actually did fairly well, and that movie was a huge success. Commercial and critically. It's a good question. But, yeah, I just don't know. Usually, if we do a movie review on Sunday, it's mostly like a spoiler review, or it's something that they weren't able to review because of embargoes during the week. That's usually the case. I was excited for the comic book with Hush until the reveal, the artwork from Jim Lee. Oh, no, the artwork is great. Yeah, he loves, that's another thing that Jeff Loeb loves to do. He loves bringing in the villains, all the villains, even if he doesn't really do anything with them. He just likes having them there. At least and I will say, at least in the Long Halloween, they at least provide a good reason why some of these villains are here. And they don't even have all of them in there. Like in the original one, he had like fucking Mr. Freeze and shit. He had so many villains in the Long Halloween. I watched Turning Red, and it was really good. I'm between a high full price and Me Too. Witness me, Mr. Hummendinger. Thank you for the very kind raid. That is so kind of you. I hope you're doing well. What are you playing, man? More of that Rain? More of that Elden Ring? Alec, pleasure to have you. Who's the guy that can't draw feet? Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld is that guy. Yeah, he loves pouches. He loves muscles. And he hates feet. That's what I know. Kazfay, moderator extraordinaire. Kazfay, hard hands. Hope you're doing well. It's a non-dog pooping right. Hello, Kazfay. Having fun on Mr. Hummendinger's stream. I hope you're having a good time. Just to finish my review from Batman The Long Halloween Part 2.